everyone, welcome back to my channel. I got a few questions from you guys asking if I could just talk about how I healed my psoriasis in terms of phases, what I did from the start to the very end. So I am going to do that in this video. I'm not going to share really the products that I use because I have a video and I'll link it up here where I talked about which product I used in each phase. So this video is just going to be what phase you need to start with and how you need to like kind of progress through these phases, and then what phase you need to end with in order to heal or treat or cure your psoriasis. So if you don't know, my name is Marla and I am a holistic nutrition student. I'm obviously not a doctor, so everything that I'm sharing in this video is just from what has worked for me personally and a few close people, people who are close to me that I've helped as well. In terms of psoriasis. So like I said in this video, just take and leave what you want and adjust it to your lifestyle and the type of psoriasis you have, etc., because every person is different. So the very first thing that I did when I found out that I had psoriasis was I knew I had to cleanse and detox. So when you have psoriasis, there's a good chance, almost 100% chance, you have Candida and parasites and bad bacteria, overgrown in your intestines, and that you have leaky gut. But before you even attempt to kill those bad bacteria, you really want to make sure that your detox systems, like your lungs and your kidney and your liver and your lymphatic system, you want to make sure that they're functioning properly. Because if you start to kill off Candida and other bad bacteria and try to detox, and your detox organs are not functioning to eliminate those toxins, it's going to cause a lot of buildup and you're going to have severe die-off reactions, and your psoriasis will flare because the toxins will have to come out of the skin because they have nowhere else to go. So the very first thing that I did was I changed my diet. Of course, I stopped eating gluten. I talked so many times about why gluten causes psoriasis. I have a lot of videos on my channel, but it pretty much creates a lot of inflammation in the body, and it releases something called zonulin, which pretty much keeps the junctions in your gut lining open to allow proteins and undigested food particles and toxins and parasites and Candida into your blood. So in order to heal psoriasis, you have to get off of gluten. Whether or not you think you have an allergy to it, you will not heal if you do not get off of gluten, even just for the time being. So take that into consideration. But I definitely stopped eating gluten. I got off of dairy except grass-fed ghee and goat yogurt. Those were okay for me. I got rid of nightshades completely. And like I said, this isn't a long-term thing. This is a temporary until you heal. You obviously won't resort back to your old ways, but you'll at least, can introduce these foods, in moderation again. But yeah, so no gluten, no dairy, no nightshades, and I got off of sugar except for maple syrup or raw honey, but I didn't eat any cane sugar at all. And those were the biggest that I stayed away from. There are a couple of foods that I stayed away from, but those were particularly like pertaining to my specific food intolerances or sensitivities. So if you have any other food sensitivities around, aside from nightshades and gluten and dairy, then eliminate those as well. One thing I want to say is I did also eliminate corn, soy, and peanuts. Those were huge triggers for me and for most people with psoriasis. So I worked on my diet. I focused on eating lots of alkalizing foods like fresh fruits and veggies and good quality proteins that are wild caught or grass fed or pasture raised and organic. And I really focused on just getting rid of toxins in my environment. So during phase 1, I changed my diet. I made sure I was eating organic as much as I could to avoid more toxins and pesticides coming into my body. I stopped using chemical house cleaning products like toilet cleaners or dish soap. I went all natural. I got all natural detergent. I got rid of cling-free sheets and started using wool balls for the dryer. I've been using a natural deodorant way before I even had psoriasis, but I still made sure that my dry deodorant and shampoos, everything was just clean as much as I could, and I would just, as much as was in my control, I would adjust my environment to make sure that it was toxic free. So that was phase 1, was just really cleaning out everything. I didn't rush and try to get rid of the red rash instantly. I just focused on really transforming my health, my home environment, my health, and my diet. So after I was doing phase 1 for about 2-3 weeks, and I said, okay, now it's time to start helping and supporting my detox organs like my liver, my kidneys, my lymphatic system, my lungs. So I started adopting some cleanses specific to those. You can do it through food, you can cleanse your liver and stuff through herbs, or you can use homeopathics. I started off with herbs, and I just found out that I was so toxic because I had a very, very unhealthy past, and I have a video on that, so you can check it out on my channel. But because of my past, I had so much toxin buildup that I found that herbs were not strong enough. And I've said this before in my videos, I find that herbs are great if you only have a little bit of toxicity or if you're just trying to maintain. But if you have severe toxicity and you have either like really bad fatty liver or just really, you know, like large amounts of toxins backed up and built up in your body, I find that homeopathics work better. And that is just my personal opinion. So I went to see my naturopath and she put me on some homeopathics to cleanse my liver, to cleanse my kidneys, and to cleanse my lymphatic system / blood, to purify the blood. So I was on those, and it was a pretty big protocol in the beginning because I had just so many imbalances and problems. But as I was doing that, I still made sure that as I was doing phase 2 homeopathics in terms of cleansing my liver, kidneys, and all that, I made sure I was still incorporating phase 1 and still made sure that I had a good diet, no gluten, nothing like that. So I was doing all of this. Now, I can't remember the exact timelines because overall, from start to finish of being hardcore with diet and supplements and everything, it was about a phase of 5 months. So I can't remember the exact you know, amount or exact, you know, I guess amounts and times and lengths of, you know, all of these phases, but I will say that you will know when you can move on to the next phase, when you start to clear. So I'll talk about that in a minute, but phase 1 lasted the entire course, and I still continue phase 1. I'm still making sure my environment's toxic free and my food is good. So that one is definitely should be the rest of your life. So phase 2, I was doing the homeopathics. I also had a lot of supplements on the side. I was doing lots of digestive enzymes, lots of vitamins, minerals. I was also doing a lot of liquid chlorophyll. It really alkalizes the body, it cleanses the colon, and it helps flush out toxins through your poop. So I was doing a lot of that, and I was also doing lots of warm lemon water throughout the day just to alkalize my body. Another thing that I did to help kind of drain my lymphatic system or purify my lymphatic system was I did about a 1/4 teaspoon of pure pink Himalayan salt in some warm water, and I would drink that a couple times a day. So that's a good way to get some minerals in and just start flushing things out of the body. So that's what I really focused on, was lots of healthy food, lots of water, especially alkaline water like chlorophyll and lemon, and then my homeopathics. This phase lasted the whole 5 months as well because I had so much toxicity built up that I just kept doing the cleansing phase, and I am still doing the cleansing phase even after my psoriasis is gone. So I did that, and then after about maybe a month of, you know, doing the liver, and I felt that my liver could now handle some toxins, we moved on to a Candida phase. So I still had phase 1 and phase 2 of diet and homeopathics going. Then I incorporated the 3rd phase of Candida and parasite cleansing. So this phase I was focusing on my gut, focusing on, you know, balancing my microbiome, getting rid of the bad, bringing in more good probiotics, and healing the gut. So I was doing things like black walnut, doing lots of antifungals. So I had black walnut, I did Pau d'Arco, I had caprylic acid. This was all at the same time. I am the type of person that I rather get flare-ups and I rather get insane die-off and be in a lot of pain, but get rid of the Candida really quick than just go slow so I don't have die-off, but then it takes longer. So my personal approach was just to go like at it hardcore and just get all intense with it. So I took a lot of things at the same time. I also at this point was doing 500 billion probiotics a day because I had so many antibiotics in the past and never took a probiotic, so I needed it. So I was doing 500 billion. I also did things like aloe vera gel to help heal the gut and to help cleanse. I did L-glutamine every day, twice a day during this time. And I still do it even after my psoriasis is gone. I did lots and lots of gelatin and bone broth. I will leave my favorite products in the description box below so you guys can check them out. And I also have some discount codes that you guys can use as well to save some money if you want to purchase anything. But yeah, I did lots of gelatin and bone broth to heal the gut, lots of collagen, licorice root, which is kind of helps to, you know, like soothe the gut, or marshmallows is similar. I did lots of slippery elm to soothe and reduce inflammation. I also did a lot of cod liver oil and lots of turmeric lattes. Those are really good to fight inflammation in the gut and in the whole body. I always made sure I was doing digestive enzymes and hydrochloric acid with all my meals. So that was what phase 3 looked like. It was just battling that Candida, doing everything I could. I had so much warming spices. I would do like half a tablespoon of Ceylon cinnamon in some hot water. Then an hour later, I would do clove and nutmeg in hot water. And then I would do just fresh grated ginger and lemon in hot water. I just did lots of warming and drying spices because Candida cannot thrive in a hot, dry climate. It only can thrive in cold and damp. That's why people find that in the winter, they start getting achy joints and bones and headaches, but in the summer they feel better. It's because Candida will grow more in the winter because of the environment. So you really want to dry out your body and provide a hot environment, lots of cayenne pepper. So that's what I was doing. So after that, my Candida phase went for about a month or two, give or take. I just made a Candida video, I'll link it up here, talking about kind of what I did and how I felt after. So as soon as my Candida cleared and I was, had no longer had Candida and parasites. Also during the Candida and parasite phase, I was doing diatomaceous earth and activated charcoal on and off to help suffocate and kill the parasites and get them out. But yeah, so I noticed that right away after the Candida was gone, that's when my psoriasis started clearing and my eczema was completely cleared. So that was a good sign for me because then I knew I was on the right track. Also, with all the chlorophyll I was taking, it really alkalized my body. And when you have red rashes everywhere, that's just a cut here, but when you have red rashes everywhere, it means that there's a lot of acidity in the body. Because when you have toxins, it creates acidity. So taking a lot of alkaline, supplements or drinks and eating a lot of alkaline fruits will really help to reduce the acidity. So because of that, my rash already was going down. So I did the Candida phase for about, like I said, 1 or 2 months, and my rash really started clearing and I wasn't itching as much. During this phase, I did get a lot worse before I got better. I have talked about that a couple times in my video, so I won't go into it here, but I did get my rash spread. It used to be just on my hands, and it spread to my inner elbows, it spread to my armpits. It was like lots of pus coming out. It was itchy and red and inflamed. So it did spread a lot, and that's just when your toxins are just really coming out of the body during the cleansing phase. So I did that. My rash got worse, but I knew it was a good sign, so I was actually excited and happy about it. And it got really bad for about 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden it just faded so quick, and then it was gone. So I continued the phases. I still did the diet. I still did the homeopathics for cleansing my liver and my detox organs, and I still did the Candida supplements and antifungals even after my Candida was gone, just to really make sure everything was good and my body's getting back in balance. So the 4th phase was really focusing on relaxation and stress and finding ways to enjoy my life but still have balance and still not feel like I'm missing out on everything, because I'm such a foodie and I love going out to restaurants and eating certain foods. So the one thing I promised myself is that I would not eat gluten, but I would enjoy everything else in moderation. So during this phase, I still was doing all the supplements and the good diet, but I started to figure out how I could go out and eat but still enjoy myself, so and not cheat too much. So we learned that we could go for sushi, and I would bring my own coconut aminos for soy sauce or something, and I would ask them to make certain sushi rolls without like the little gluten crumbs and stuff like that in there. So I did have, I'm sure there was traces of gluten in the food because you can't control, and a lot of the sauces, like the teriyaki sauces, have soy sauce, which is gluten. So I knew that I was obviously having gluten, but at this point, because my psoriasis was cleared, my liver and everything was functioning good, that I could handle small amounts of toxins. So I learned that I could go, there's certain restaurants I could go to. We would go out for Thai food, and my Thai restaurant makes pad Thai and curries and all that, gluten-free. So we just learned where to go and which spots are good, and we started going there, and I started really enjoying myself. And I also started doing more deep breathing. I would meditate on scriptures. I would take hot baths with lavender essential oil and some candles. I really focused on stress because personally, I have high anxiety, and high anxiety leads to so many problems, but especially when you have autoimmune, it causes a lot of toxicity in the body, which again will cause a flare-up. So I really just focused on reducing my stress, which in turn helps your immune system. So that was phase 4, and I'm still working on phase 4 even today. It's definitely a challenge. And those were pretty much the phases of healing my psoriasis from start to finish. So I first had changed my diet, then I cleansed my detox organs, then I fought off Candida and healed my gut, and then I worked on focusing on stress, but also enjoying my lifestyle so that I could continue the psoriasis healing journey for the rest of my life without, crazy side effects and without feeling super depressed that I'm missing out on anything. So I found a good balance in my life. I did just have a psoriasis flare not long ago. I shared why it happened. It was pretty much due to a lot of toxins and a crazy amount of stress during this period, but it is cleared up now. My neck has absolutely nothing. There is a little bit on my inner arm, but it's just right here. That's all I have left. So I'm still doing phase 1. That's going to be the rest of my life. I'm still on working on phase 2. My liver does need a little bit more support. My kidneys are pretty good now, and my Candida is gone. So I no longer am doing phase 3, and phase 4 I'm still working on, but that's something I feel like everyone will just continue to work on. So yeah, just working on diet, cleansing my liver, and purifying my blood. My lymphatic system still needs some help, and I am just trying to keep my stress levels down. And all of this together, along with taking supporting supplements and, you know, vitamins, minerals, that gut healing supplements, I am pretty much good to go, and I feel amazing. I have so much more energy. I love knowing that my Candida is gone, so now I do have sugar here and there and I can handle it, and I'm just much happier than you know, a couple months ago when I was like covered in psoriasis and in a lot of pain and didn't know what to eat, and it was definitely a journey, but I've come a long way, and I really hope this video helps you and just breaks it down, the steps that you should follow, you know, in terms of changing your diet, then cleansing your detox organs, then healing your gut and fighting Candida, and working on stress. Those are the 4 main steps. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. I love you all, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.